Welcome to the Backroads of the Bluegrass, where my daughter and I head to Central Kentucky to see Sherman and her boyfriend Clay, and then we head off to the Music City, Nashville, where we explore and go to antique shops and have so much fun. So we start out leaving Hazard, Kentucky, and here's my daughter Elizabeth heading to Central to see Sherman and Clay. And of course, we had to bring my little dog. He is so sweet. Elizabeth always makes this trip fun. She's all the time singing and just having so much fun. She keeps this trip very interesting, and I'm so thankful that she went with me to keep me company. And we just had a blast just hanging out together and her doing her thing. Now, here is my dog. He knows when we're approaching Sherman because he gets so excited to see his little friend, Minnie. That's Sherman's little dog. And it's so amazing that even though it's 170 some miles from Hazard to Glasgow, that Bruno still knows where Sherman's house is, and he gets super, super excited. And he just loves playing with Minnie, and you can just see the excitement. He's just moving from place to place. It's so funny. Then I head to Gail's and Dale's Cruise Inn, where Sherman was waiting on me and a bunch of her friends. I got there when the sun was going down as usual because I had to leave after work. But once I got there, most everybody was gone, but Sherman said there was over 80 some cars there, which I think is pretty awesome. Then we head out that morning in his 1952 Ram truck. Listen. It's a pretty awesome truck. We headed over to our favorite place, Cowboys Country Cooking, and look at Sherman's truck there. It looks so great. And this time I got the pancakes and hash browns and bacon, and it was delicious, so shout out to them again. And guess what? Sherman and I went yard selling in his International 1952 International, and we purchased, well, I should say he purchased a couple of bikes, and it was pretty cool. There is some pictures that we also found. Coke, I love Coca-Cola pictures and Coca-Cola stuff, so I thought that was pretty neat. And here's a picture of the bikes in the back of the International. And of course, I had to take a picture with them in it because I love this truck. I found a couple of things because I am going to put a booth in Leslie County. I will tell you more about that. Then Sherman and I head to the Music City, Nashville. And look at this. You see everything on the road. I thought this was different. I would say different. I've never seen this before, but oh well. Of course, Sherman and I had to stop at some antique shops, and this was very neat. This is one of the biggest antique shops I believe I have ever went in. It had a lot of neat stuff. It would take you hours to go through it, and so we didn't have that much time, but you know what? We found some neat stuff. I love this old TV, and like I said, it was a very neat place, but you will have to take your time and make sure you can go through all of it and I thought this was neat too. It's the bathroom. How neat is that? So here's going outdoors. I wanted to show you a video of how big it was because I don't think pictures even gives it justice. It is huge. And I had so much fun. It was just a great experience. And of course, Sherman and I loves to explore these places and see all new things. Sherman took me to this antique shop that he had been before. Now this was probably my favorite. I liked the other one, but I really liked this one. Let's look at here. This is the old lineman phones. I just thought that it just had really neat stuff. This is a little video of somewhat of a little bit of it. It wasn't all of it, but it was really cool. And this right here took me back. This brought back memories. Now I had a bag phone in my car, and I thought I was the coolest because I had it. So that was very neat to see that. Here is just some cool finds that we've seen. Coca-Cola, of course. I bought this mixer. It's an electric mixer. I collect old utensils. And look at here. This is a bed warmer. I had never seen this before. Look it up on YouTube. It's pretty neat. And these old sewing machines. Again, here's just some neat finds. And it has decent prices. Now this one brought me back. My mom got me this one year for Christmas. And it was from Santa Claus, and I loved it. And guess what? It's $125. I should have kept mine, but I just love it because I hadn't seen one since then. And I like this sign. It's pretty true, just saying. And here is the information of his antique store. If you're in Nashville, check it out. It's pretty cool. And we head on in. Me and Sherman met up with my kids and their friends, Clay and Sheridan, at Top Golf. I love this place, and it's very affordable. It's a good family fun, and I highly recommend it. And here we are. I loved it. And here's a couple of pictures of Elizabeth hitting it, and here's Sheridan. And this is Ethan, my son. He blew it out the water. He beat about every one of us. And it was just so much fun. And here is Sherman. There's Sherman. He killed that ball. And I just love this trip. And we've talked about it. And here is Clay. He is getting up to swing that ball. So he could knock it out of the park. And here it is, me. I'm not the best, but you know what? It's all about having fun. That's what it's all about. Now here's some food that we had there. Now this was wonderful. Elizabeth got buffalo chicken dip, and they absolutely loved it. Sherman got these cheesy fries. That was really good. And Sherman and I got some hamburgers and fries, and it was delicious. Best hamburger ever. And the kids got some donuts that you fill in, and look on the floor. Now this tells you it's a good hamburger if the juices gets on the floor. So I highly recommend this place. It's outside of Nashville. So guess what? We leave Top Golf and we head into the Music City, where we walk downtown. There's Dolly Parton's hotel. Here is Taco Bell. We thought that sign was the coolest sign ever. Then we wanted something sweet, of course. So we went into this ice cream shop. Look at this shop. Look at the cookies, how big they were. I mean, I'm a diabetic, so I had to have a little bit of control. But I did treat myself to some ice cream. But we loved it. We loved this ice cream store. It was just unique, like I said. It had cookies, all kinds of ice cream flavors, and it was delicious. And they even have pies. So here we are trying to decide what are we going to get. And I always get my favorite, and Elizabeth does too, and it's butter pecan. But Elizabeth got something different. This is my butter pecan, which was delicious, but Elizabeth got cake batter, and she said it was wonderful. I think Sheridan got cake batter too, and Ethan got a peanut butter ice cream. He said it was great. And then we headed downtown, and we saw something that me and Ethan did not like. A snake. This guy tried to put this snake around mine and Ethan's neck. Well, we ran faster than we had in a long time, and I might have had to change my clothes later. We had some pretty good laughs, but here's a couple of pictures that we took in downtown, and we walked the bridge, and it was so pretty because the sun was setting, and we got to take some really good pictures. And here's my son. Here is Clay and Sherman just looking over, just enjoying the scene. And you know, anytime we go somewhere, we find some classic cars. And this car was in one of the restaurants. And of course, Buc-ee's. There's an International in Buc-ee's. And here's my son who carried me on his back like it was nothing. And Sherman and I got in the photo booth. How cool is that? And look at the end. It was called garage sale. That fits us perfectly. We had such a good time. Now it's time to go back to Eastern Kentucky. Well, Elizabeth wasn't so cheerful this time. She fell asleep because I had to get up early. She wasn't the only one that fell asleep. My dog was even asleep, but that's okay. But today was Mother's Day and I got to spend it with my wonderful family. And here's just a couple of pictures that we took with all the mothers in my life. We were so thankful. So thank you for watching Backroads of the Bluegrass again. We had so much fun in Nashville and this adventure was great. And I cannot wait to share more.